Hello and welcome to another Stranger Tour. Today we're visiting St Denis, a village in Cornwall, which has a fascinating church built upon the site of an Iron Age hill fort. Although over the centuries religious scholars have associated St Denis with a French saint, a martyr decapitated for his religious faith, there is a good argument that the name of the village, its church and parish, is actually based upon an ancient clerical error. The early incoming Christians were astute enough to take over and repurpose sites long associated with the pagan gods or the tribal identities of their potential converts. Setting up within the walls of a revered old hill fort must have seemed like a good tactical move. These pyramid-shaped peaks are actually artificial hills, waste heaps built up over centuries by working the English China clay deposits. Now, the clerical error I mentioned stems from the Cornish word for hill fort, which is Dinas. And in fact, from the top of the church hill, from the top of the St Dinas, you can see for miles around. And you can even see another Iron Age hill fort, Castle An Dinas. These aerial shots of Castle An Dinas were taken from the window of a small passenger plane flying between Plymouth and St Morgan near New Quay. So, the site had a name: Holy Sanctus Saint, St Dinas. Throw in a little eccentric and eclectic spelling from medieval scribes, and we arrive at St Denis, and the assumption that St Denis was a real person and the church and the village, etc., were all named after him. As we climb the slope of the hill, on a path flanked by walls which perhaps outline the ramparts of old, it is easy to envisage what a strong defensive place this was. If we stop halfway and turn around, we get a great view of the surrounding countryside. In 1829, a survey traced at least 2 remaining fortified rings on this site. The walls of the churchyard itself directly follow the topmost ring of the fort. There is more than one way into the churchyard. Here we enter via some small stone steps, like a stile, and as soon as we are inside the churchyard, it is like being beneath a shady roof or canopy of boughs, branches and leaves. The tower dates back to the 14th century, and you might think that the main church building is just as old. But a totally destructive fire in 1985 utterly consumed that structure. So what we see there is a marvellous feat of sympathetic construction and reconstruction. This stone Celtic cross was made in the 5th or 6th century, and it is probably the oldest Christian symbol in this churchyard. Shall we go inside? When the church was being rebuilt, getting these massive roof beams up to the top of the hill without an equally massive number of physical labourers was a problem that was eventually solved by the Royal Naval Air Service, who carried the beams up to the churchyard with helicopters.